Going to teach you an Elvis Presley all-time great mega hit. You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. The song, not you. I didn't mean you. I meant the song. This is going to incorporate some techniques that is not on your ChordBuddy DVD. It's called the pedal move, and the pedal move would be when you advance. If you're playing a boogie woogie like well, when I go down with my pinky there, that's called pedaling. Okay, so what we're going to do here on the G is you're going to hold the blue down, target the top 3 strings, 6, 5, and 4. You're going to pick it twice, strum it twice, and then you're going to keep the blue pressed and add the yellow to it. See? And that makes a boogie woogie pattern, shuffle pattern. When you go to the green, you're going to press it with your middle finger, target the 5th, 4th, and 3rd string. And you're going to pedal to the red. When you go to the red, the D chord, you're going to target the bottom 4, and that's your pattern for this. Okay. Again, I'm using GarageBand drum loops. This is it is the Funky Shuffle drum set pattern 21, and all you do is you set your tempo to what you want it to be, and you hit it, and it plays the drum beat for you. Very simple. It gets more complex if you want to build tracks and add piano and bass to it. If you want to learn that, please send me an email saying, do more GarageBand, and I'll do my best to do it. Here we go. Hey, pretty funky, isn't it? You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Well, you said you was high class, that was just a lie. Well, you said you was high class, that was just a lie. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Oh. Scott, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? All right, I cannot hear you. I don't know if it's me or you.
It's me. All right.
Okay, I got you now.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, Travis, I tell you, there is nothing more classic than a little bit of Elvis Presley. So that was a big Mama Thornton song, but he definitely brought it to some prominence there. All right. So
Scott, Elvis is my son Goodson's favorite music artist.
Really?
He plays him every day. This is his go-tos. Return to Sender, Hound Dog, something about because the bump stuck on you.
Yeah,
stuck on you, and then he goes to Michael Jackson. He goes from Elvis to Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Well, Michael Jackson was definitely influenced by a lot of those early rock and rollers.
Well, and didn't Michael Jackson and Elvis's daughter, weren't they married for a period of time?
I believe they were together at least. Yeah, if they weren't married.
Yeah, I don't know if they got married, but I know that they dated.
A Hollywood marriage.
Right.
Well, good morning. I know you're there in Dothan, Alabama, and at the ChordBuddy factory, and
in the ChordBuddy salt mine, 40 feet down, Scott,
and recording a podcast again this afternoon or this morning.
Soon as we get off, I go up to to the inner sanctum, and we do a podcast. So.
All right, yeah. Well, Tom says
yes,
yes,
they were
they
married.
were
Okay.
married.
I thought they were. It didn't last too long.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Hollywood marriage. Well, yeah. So when you record the podcast today, what's the topic du jour? What are we going to be?
We're
going to be on?
probably, I'm we always sort of wing it. And I think we keep it spontaneous, but we've been talking about, in fact, we started last week, we have a new marketing company here. Or not, we've hired a new marketing company. And so I've been explaining a little bit on our podcast about that process, about what you look, what are you looking for? Because we throw out a lot of terms like ROAS. Well, if you're not in the, you may think that's some kind of rash or something. I've got a bad case of ROAS.
Put some calamine lotion on it.
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
That actually stands for return on ad spend. That's what that stands for. And so, and CPA, and all that kind of stuff that I've had to learn in the past few years. So we've been talking about that, and we'll probably continue to talk some about that. But we are also going to talk about an accessory today, the guitar care kit. We try to feature an accessory per week, and this week I think is the guitar care kit.
Well, it's interesting too with the new marketing company. You have to educate them, and I know that you've been explaining to them that the ChordBuddy, what it's like, because they threw out some terms, some concepts, but you need to remind them what ChordBuddy is and how it's like riding a bike.
Exactly. Yeah. So true. Because the education to the potential buyer is essential, that they totally get what ChordBuddy is, and that it is a teaching system. And we have to watch the words that we say, because as I was talking about, he said in some places, learn to play instantly. Well, you don't learn to play instantly. You play a song instantly, but you don't learn the guitar instantly. So if you're talking about training wheels, that's like if you put training wheels on a bicycle. Well, when you get on and ride that bicycle, you haven't learned to ride the bicycle there, but you're riding the bicycle. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing with ChordBuddy. You haven't learned to play. You will. We're going to get you there within 60 days by following our patented step-by-step process. You will remove the ChordBuddy and be playing on your own within that time frame. But from day one, you haven't learned, but you're playing the guitar. And it's so important because, Scott, I was a teacher and still am through ChordBuddy for over 40 years. And it is so difficult to keep them students engaged when their fingers are hurting, when their guitar sounds horrible, when the strings are muted. And I mean, it's so hard to keep them engaged. And that's why the fallout rate with learning guitar is 70%. That's exactly why it's so high. But with ChordBuddy, you are playing a song. You're playing something that sounds musical. You're from day one. You're playing, and so that's all done with one finger. 4 buttons. Each finger has its own button that it plays. But to play that, Scott, right there, would take you at least 2 months to learn to make those chords and play them on your own.
Yeah, and that's what's really nice about the ChordBuddy, because it is a learning system. The first thing that you're really learning is the rhythm, is how to strum the guitar. And I know that when most people pick up a guitar, the first thing they look at is they look right at the neck and the strings, and And that's what they focus on instead of this part right here.
Scott, I cannot tell you, and it makes me laugh because you get it exactly. I will be explaining ChordBuddy to someone, and I'll remove my hand from the neck because I don't want them to focus on me up here, and I'll be pointing I said, here is where the rubber meets the road, and they're still looking at the neck. Everyone thinks that it's all in the left hand, and it's very little in the left hand. It's in the right hand if you're right-handed. I'm talking about your strumming hand.
Right.
That's where it happens. That's the most important part of learning the guitar is your strumming and rhythm and learning good patterns in meter was the word I was looking for. Because if you're not playing in rhythm and time,
right.
Said this 1,000 times, you're not making music, you're making a mess.
Well, and yeah, the ChordBuddy came along, and I know you were on Shark Tank and won a deal with Robert Herjavec back in season 3 and episode 3 for people that want to go watch that. And then that was in 2012. But even then, digital tuners were around, the little clip-on tuners, little digital tuners that you can clip on, which made life so much better because we've talked about not only when you're starting to play guitar, do you need to focus not on the neck, but you need to focus on that rhythm. You need to be in tune.
I can't tell you literally how many times a kid has brought his guitar in for his lesson, and I'll say, all right, you know anything? Yeah, I know a G. I say, all right, well, play me a G, and he'll play me a G, and it's just his chord is right, but it is horrid because his guitar is so out of tune. I go, whoa, you are out of tune, and he goes, well, Uncle Jim Bob tuned it 6 months ago at Christmas when he was over for Christmas. And I said, son, you have to tune your guitar every time you play it, or at least check it. And it will need tweaking a little bit, especially if you've had some weather changes, hot, cold, temperature changes. That really affects the tuning of a guitar, any instrument for that matter. And so please do yourself a favor and always make sure before you start playing that you are in perfect tune. Because your ear is just like a muscle. If you train it wrong, if you don't train it, it will get weak. It will not hear tune. And I'll be honest, I've worked with musicians that are pretty good musicians, but their ear for knowing when they're in tune is not there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazed me. How can you not hear that? I don't get it. I said, can you not hear you're out of tune? And they said, no, it's in tune. And I said, no, your B string is way flat. And they'll check it, and the B string will be way flat. So train your ear.
Yeah. And those digital tuners, back in the old days with pitch pipes or tuning forks. Yeah, I like the tuning fork, but I tell you, those digital tuners, you just clip it on, and I'll just tell people, buy the when you get the full package, if you're looking for a guitar, and of course, Travis, it's graduation time. A lot of kids are going to be graduating high school and college. It's Mother's Day is coming up. Father's Day is right behind that, and buying a complete kit, the ChordBuddy, the Perry guitar, the ChordBuddy, the learning system book, the song book, the tuner, picks, everything all in one package. That's a pretty good gift.
I tell you what, I can't think of a better present to give your son, daughter, or granddaughter or grandson, if they're graduating high school, is to buy them a guitar combo to go off to college with, and to have in their dorm room and learn to play the guitar. And I tell you what, if you have a grandson or son that's going off, he will be the life of the party. He may potentially meet your daughter-in-law by learning to play the guitar, because everybody wants to be that guy at the party that all the girls are hanging around and swooning over, that's playing and singing the guitar.
And not only can they get the kit, get the full package, get the guitar, the ChordBuddy, the learning system, the songbook, the tuner, picks. There's other songbooks out there, so you can send them off with all kinds of songbooks. So whatever is interesting for them, as you said, it's a great way to meet friends. If you're going off to a new school, a new community, that's a great way to meet people.
It is. I go camping and always have my guitar, and it never fails. It will draw a crowd. From your neighbors at the campground, they'll hear you playing, and they'll meander over, gather around. And
that is a lot of fun. I know my family loves sitting around the fire pit in the backyard, roasting marshmallows and singing songs.
Absolutely.
And it's coming that time. The weather's getting a little. Of course, I'm in Oregon, so it's a rainy day here. I think it's going to be a little nicer for you.
It's a beautiful, beautiful day here in Alabama. Yeah, I was thinking, Scott, just 2 weeks ago, I saw a video of you showing it snowing in your yard.
Yeah, this is crazy. We had snow in April in Oregon, which was a record that we have had actually snow in the valley here in the Willamette Valley. The week before in Portland, Oregon, it was 80 degrees. And then the following week, schools were closed because of snow.
Crazy.
This is not Michigan. I don't know how that happens. But, it's the weather's getting nicer. Kids are graduating. That's a great gift. Mother's Day is coming up. And if your mother's a little maybe more petite, the 38-inch, the smaller size guitar might be the right fit.
Most ladies love that. We call it the youth guitar because ladies and 10, 11, 12-year-old age people, they're smaller and they love that guitar. It's still a full scale length, so it works perfectly with ChordBuddy. In fact, it's built to our design and to our measurements, but it just fits ladies and smaller people so well that they can handle it so good.
Yeah, and it's nice because you're not hiding behind this huge guitar body. You don't feel like and it's if people look at the picture, it's got a little cutaway on the body, and so when you're playing without the ChordBuddy, you can play those higher notes up there, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and also the waist, as I call it, they're a little deeper cut, so it sets a little lower, and then you're able to get your arm around it better. It's just a very good ergonomic design for people that's a little bit smaller stature.
Yeah. So is there a song that you would like to demonstrate on ChordBuddy this morning?
Let me think.
Now, last week we had some folks on online that were requesting songs, and we were able to find that. We don't have any requests this week. We started off with Hound Dog and the Elvis kind of version of that, of Big Mama Thornton's Hound Dog, but there's almost no limit to the number of songs that someone can play with ChordBuddy.
See, even though I just played it, when I pick it up, what's the first thing that I'm doing here?
Yeah,
I'm checking my tuning.
And again, I'll remind people that if you get the complete package, you get the ChordBuddy tuner that's got string break technology. There's some patented technology inside that tuner to keep you from breaking strings when you're tightening, when you're tuning up.
I don't know that I can remember the words to this song, but this is a song that my mother taught me, and it's the first time I learned an E minor chord.
Oh, uh-huh.
And it uses a very popular chord pattern, which goes from G, the blue, to yellow, to green, to D. And that is a very popular pattern that was used a lot in the 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
The pattern is.
Nice.
Let's see. On a date in my daddy's car, we hadn't driven very far. Staring straight ahead, a car was stalled, the engine was dead. I couldn't stop, so I swerved to the right. I never forget the sound that night. That I heard last. Oh, where can my baby be? The Lord took her away from me. She's gone to heaven, so I got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world.
Was that Everly Brothers? I'm trying to remember.
I think so, yeah.
I was thinking Everly Brothers on that one.
Yeah. It's a sad song. I mean, because they're together and they have an automobile wreck and she's killed. But I like it when he says so I've got to be good so I can see my baby when I leave this world.
Yeah, you know, that's a fun song, and it's one of those ones that right out of the box, get the complete ChordBuddy, and there you are playing a song using all 4 of the chords on the ChordBuddy, and then as you get your rhythm down, you learn that rhythm, you get your fingers strengthened up, you can start pulling those tabs out, like that first pulling out that D tab, and be able to use your fingers on the strings. And as we say earlier, we were talking about the new marketing company and trying to educate them that you'll be playing a song right away, but over a 2-month period, you'll be playing without the ChordBuddy.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the process. I was answering someone, we advertise on Facebook also, and someone said, so I guess you start with it and then somehow you wing your way off of it. And I said, that's exactly what you do. You start with it. You're able to play songs immediately. You're able to play your trigger song, your favorite song. And then within a 2-month time frame, you've removed all the tabs one at a time, not getting overwhelmed, not getting frustrated. And you're playing on your own. Yeah. And they said, well, we're buying one right now. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing is we've got this right here in the carousel. And so we've got a question, and Brian says, ChordBuddy in Thailand.
Okay, so the way you would have to do that,
because we can get ChordBuddy here on Amazon. We can get the left-handed ones on Amazon.
We don't actually have the left-handed ones on Amazon. Now we don't, but some other third-party sellers do. But there was too much confusion with the left-handed one. We tried it. People think that, okay, I'm using the ChordBuddy with my left hand, I must need the left-handed one. Even though we gave explicit instructions, the return rate was a little strong for us. So all we sell is the right-handed one.
Yeah.
But now let me say this.
Yeah.
80% of left-handed people learn to play right-handed. And if you can, I'm telling you, you will be money ahead. You will be everything ahead if you will do that. Because think about it. There are no left-handed pianos. There are no left-handed trumpets. There are no
True.
left-handed saxophones.
Mm-hmm.
So for instruments that you use both hands, piano,
Mm-hmm.
horn instruments, guitar,
Yeah.
You 80% learn to play right-handed.
Well,
So,
and I'll tell Brian that I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed, and I never had a left-handed guitar, and I actually can't imagine playing with a left hand, because the funny thing is that all of my coordination is in my left hand, not my right hand, and this is what you finger the strings with, is your left hand. And so I always thought left-handed people had a little advantage in playing guitar. And then you're strumming with your right hand, which is a little bit there's a lot of technique in that as well. Because when people get the ChordBuddy learning system, then you start with those strumming patterns. And I forget how many strumming patterns there are that you work through.
we teach 5. We start with the quarter strum, which is just strum.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go to the down up pattern, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we go to the pick strum pattern, which is picking the root note and strumming the strings underneath it. And then we go to the alternating pattern, which is picking the root note. Better for me to explain it when
sure, yeah.
That makes more sense. So we first teach the quarter strum, which is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we teach 1 and 2. That's going down, up, down, up, down, up. Then we teach the pick strum, which is pick the top note if you're playing G, and strum the bottom 5. Then we go to the alternating pick pattern, which is picking the root, strum, and then picking the 5th of the scale, which in this case would be the 4th string open, and then strum the bottom 3. So that helps in two ways too, because now you're having to target certain strings with your strumming hand, not just strumming all of them. You're having to target certain strings. So that brings on another skill set. And then we teach the waltz pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the 3/4 pattern. And then we teach what is called the pop strum, which can be used in any song, but it's mostly in it's very popular in pop music. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And that's called the pop strum pattern. So we teach all of those patterns in the lesson book, and also the video lessons that companion the lesson book.
Yeah. And that's what's important is to learn those strumming patterns. And so, Brian, on Amazon here, you can search for the left-handed ChordBuddy, and of course, shipping to Thailand. I'm sure you're familiar with what that's going to cost to get that there as well. But it's all calculated when you place your order. Travis, I know that you've got a podcast to go record.
I do.
I will talk to you again. Actually next week I have a conflict, so I'll be actually spending time with author Bob Berg.
Okay.
And so for people that know Bob Berg, he's got a lot of books on Amazon as well, and I get an opportunity to hang out with him, and so I don't want to miss that opportunity. But I'll miss our Thursday morning here on Amazon Live with you, Travis, but we'll talk.
Well, we'll pick it up the following week.
That's right. Yeah. Well, anyway, Travis, again, thanks for being here on Amazon Live and sharing more about ChordBuddy and the song. So enjoy the afternoon. And for everyone that's out there, I'm going to play the video as we go out here that shows how you remove the tab the D tab when you get started, because as Travis was showing, first of all, you start right out of the box. You'll be able to play a song. You can play a lot of songs using the ChordBuddy, but then as you learn the strumming patterns and then you strengthen your hand, your left hand, or like Brian, you strengthen your right hand, then you start removing the tabs from the ChordBuddy and you start putting your fingers on the strings. So ChordBuddy is a guitar learning system. Now you can start playing a song right out of the box, but then over time, you start pulling the tabs out, using your fingers on the strings, and the video series, the lesson plan book that goes with it, teaches you how to play the guitar in about a 2-month period of time. Where if you follow the plan, and it's not a race, some people will take longer, some people will do it in a lot shorter period of time. But it is it's actually the world's best guitar learning system. So if you're thinking about wanting to play guitar, you've got a guitar under your bed, in the closet, somewhere, break it out and order the ChordBuddy. Make sure you get a tuner. Like I use one of the ones I use is a Real Tuner, and this has been a great tool for me as we've tuning guitars and ukuleles and bass guitars and all kinds of stuff. So make sure your guitar is in tune, and then put the ChordBuddy on it and use the lesson plan book, and then the songbook. The songbook has over 100 songs in there, and then there's all kinds of additional songbooks. So you can get volume 2, volume 3, so forth. You can get the pop songs, worship songs, hymns, and when we get to Christmas, you can get the Christmas songs and play those with ChordBuddy, or play those without ChordBuddy if you've gone through the learning system. So it's a great system. You want to either put the ChordBuddy on an existing guitar. It'll fit most standard guitars. So even like this electric guitar that I've got up here, this is the Epiphone Sheraton 2, semi-hollow body electric. The ChordBuddy works great on that. And most of the standard acoustic guitars that you'll get, you can put a ChordBuddy on there. If you're uncertain, get the full kit. And right now, entry-level guitars are hard to find. They're just not a lot of them out there. And when you're getting started, you maybe don't want to spend $500 or $1,000 on a guitar, but you can get the full kit. You can get the complete, the Perry guitar, which is a great guitar. And then, hey, good morning, Chris Stone. Good to see you. Yeah, it is an early morning here on the Pacific Coast, but we'd love to get Thursdays started by having Travis here on ChordBuddy or on Amazon Live and talking about ChordBuddy. So when you get the complete package, you get the guitar, you get the ChordBuddy learning system, which has the lesson plan book and the songbook with over 100 songs in there, and a tuner. You want to have a digital tuner, tune your guitar up, picks, everything you need, and you can be playing songs right away. And then if you follow the lesson plans, in about 2 months, you'll be playing your guitar without ChordBuddy. And so it is a fabulous thing. Hey, I'm just going to say thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you for the comments. I just really appreciate that. And let's finish up with this video from Travis. And this is actually from the lesson plans that come with ChordBuddy, the video series that goes with it, which you can find at Members of the Band. And it's online. It's free, so you're not going to pay anything for that. But it definitely goes with the ChordBuddy. You'll want to be able to use that. So let's look at how you move from using the ChordBuddy to putting your fingers on the strings and using the learning system. Thank you again to everybody. Let's watch Travis showing us how ChordBuddy works.
Well, all right, guys, this is the point in the system of ChordBuddy where, as my daddy would say, the rubber hits the road. Up to this point, we've been focusing on right hand rhythm, timing, different strum patterns. We've learned 4 different strum patterns. We've been focusing on learning some songs, getting some finger dexterity going. Now it is the time to start removing these tabs and start making the chords on your own. This is an exciting time, and I'm glad that we're here. All right, so what we're going to do first is how do we remove the D tab? All right, the best way to do it, and I'm going to keep this at an angle for you to see it best. You may want to lay it down in your lap, but I'm going to keep it up. What you want to do, you want to press the blue one down so you get it out of the way, okay? Now, this is the way to take it off with it on the guitar. From the factory, these things are in there pretty tight, so you have to pull it pretty hard, okay? So, but you're not going to break it, so don't worry about that. So push the blue one down to get it out of the way. Lift up slightly on the red tab and give it a pull. And there you are. Now it's out. So let's go over how to make the D chord. So you want to refer back to your book, and there is a diagram there of how to make the D chord. There's a hump right here. Okay, this hump is here for a reason. That is so that you can get your index finger under the hump and it falls perfectly onto the G string. Okay, that gives you enough room to get to your others. See that right there? So, to make the D chord first, put your index finger on the hump and then just slide it off and it will fall directly on to the G string. Then place your middle finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string, your index finger, your ring finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and then you strum from 4 down. That is your D chord.
About the ChordBuddy, not only is it so easy to use, it's also an instant party. And let me prove that to you for a second. You like big and rich music? You want to come on the road with us? You want to be in a band? If you got a ChordBuddy and you can push the red button and the blue button, you can play Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. Check this out. Well, I walk into the room, passing out $100 bills, and it kills and it thrills like the horns on my Silverado grill. Red button, I buy the bar a double round of Crown. Everybody is getting down in this town. Ain't never gonna be the same. Red button, and I saddle up my horse. Blue button, now I ride into the city. Red button, make a lot of noise. Blue button, cause the girls they are so pretty. Riding up and down Broadway on my old stud Leroy, and the girls say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Everybody say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. Woo! Party time with the ChordBuddy. Get yourself a ChordBuddy and have some fun, people. It's time.